Do we have a clerk?
Yes, sure.
Good morning, Chair and the Honorable Governor. My name is Lillian Wangui, Clerk Assistant. Back.
Okay, that's the delegation from the Assembly. You are welcome. Is there another member of the Assembly?
Thank you, Chair and the Governor. My name is Peter Mburu Mungai, Member of County Assembly, Kameno Ward, Member of County Assembly.
Karibuni, members of County Assembly. The Governor, Kiambu, please go on record.
Thank you, Chair, and members, and good morning. My name is Wamatangi, the Governor, Kiambu County. I have a delegation chair that's quite expansive. Reason being, we have 3 reports that we were responding to, and that necessitated that we have a fairly expanded delegation. So I would like to request them to go on record, starting with the CC Finance.
Okay, proceed.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Nancy Kirumba, CC Finance, ICT and Economic Planning for Kiambu County.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is John Mainge, Acting Cabinet Secretary and Chief Officer Administration. Good morning, Chair. My name is Getau Zachary, the Chief in charge of Finance, Kiambu County.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Joel Ngeru, Director, Internal Audit.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Henry Wawero, Director, Revenue.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Eriud Mushiri, Director, Finance.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Phyllis Miruri, Director, Supply Chain.
Good morning, all present. My name is Waithera Wayaki, County Attorney of the very, very great County of Kiambu.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Jacqueline Kimani, Chief ICT.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Engineer Newton Itobi. She is in charge of roads, transport and public works.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and the members. My name is Edmund Jihia Jiroge, the Chief Officer, Department of Water, Environment, Natural Resources, Energy and Climate Change. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is David Korea, the CC in charge of Water, Environment and Natural Resources, Kiambu. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Daniel Jenga, Chief Officer in charge of Transport.
Good morning, Chair. Osman Koral, CCM Youth Affairs, Sports and Communication.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Martin Njeri, Secretary to the County Public Service Board. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Daisy Chiboy, Chief Officer, Public Service Management.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Solomon Mora Kibwe, the Chief Officer for Revenue, Internal Audit and Supply Chain. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Nancy Mbogwa, Financial Reporting Unit.
Everyone has gone on record?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so we welcome the delegation from Kiambu, the County Executive and the County Assembly. Let's proceed to the next order, which will be administration of oath.
I, Kimani Wamatangi, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect to the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Next, you will table your management responses.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I hereby table the following documents before the committee: management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General, on the County Executive, of Kiambu for the year 2024-2025, management responses for the accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the receiver of revenue statements for the County Executive of Kiambu County for the year 2024-2025, and then management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the County Revenue Fund for the County Executive of Kiambu County for the financial year 2024-2025, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, so for avoidance of doubt, are they these colorful reports that we have? That is what you have tabled?
Yes, Chair, there are the three reports.
Okay, fine. So now let's confirm our readiness to proceed. Auditor General, are you ready to prosecute? This is your report.
Chairman, we have a challenge. The reason being that I have consulted the auditors and they received a soft copy through email of the response on the 20th of February. That's on Friday at exactly 3:38 p.m. late in the day. We have received the hard copy this morning at early in the morning, dated 23rd of February. So, Chairman, in those circumstances, we may not be able to prosecute the report.
Okay, the prosecutor
have not verified.
seems not to be ready. Governor, is that the situation that you sent your hard copies this morning?
Chair, yes, that's the situation. But let me, Chair, explain that right from the initiation of this process, from the entry meeting to the engagement with the Auditor General, to the time of the exit meeting, the management letter, and also the draft report, we have continuously engaged with the Office of the Auditor General through the entire of this process. Chair, when you published in the newspapers the schedule for appearances in January, on 8th of January, we again also started the process of preparing these responses and engaging the Auditor General. So it's not that we've not been in that engagement, but the finalization, Chair, of the process, and indeed then exchange of the final report that the Auditor General would be able to go through, Chair. That got caught up with time. We submitted the soft copy report on Friday, and this one was shared with them this morning, Chair. Our engagement, hopefully, we were thinking that would have been able to be that time, but being 3 reports, Chair, that as I've tabled them, it was a bit lengthy, Chair. I wish to request the committee to indulge us in those circumstances, Chair, and especially because the preparation journey for the final report started on the 8th of January when you, Chair, gazetted and indeed shared the schedule of appearances for the county governments before this committee.
So then it could be clear that both entities do not seem to be prepared to proceed. Kiambu is not a small county. I don't know in terms of gross county product. I don't know whether Kiambu is number 2 or number 3 after Nairobi.
Chair, we are number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, because I can see we are supposed to discuss 17 billion. 17 billion, out of which 5 billion is on-source revenue. And we must do a proper job. And we cannot then just do guesswork if the prosecutor is not prepared. Now, honorable members, before I get your views, before we rule, let me ask the chair of the Public Accounts Committee of the County Assembly whether you have been able to go through this report, because you are the primary oversight institution. And ideally before Senate looks at this report, we would be happy to get a report from the County Assembly on their consideration. Could you let us know whether you have gone through this?
Thank you, Chair. As a committee, we're done with the 2023 and 2024 we are waiting to table, and 2025 we are going to meet them on 25th this month, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, so it's still a work in progress.
Yes.
Of course, you are still within the constitutional timelines.
Yes.
We have up to the end of March
at the end
for
of
us
the
to
March.
continue this process. So please apply your minds to this. I have seen some issues in this report, issues that we cannot resolve in Nairobi, issues that require confirmation on the ground, issues of projects, issues of initiatives that are happening in your wards. So please help us on some of those things.
Thank you, Chair.
So that the Senate deals with the bigger policy issues.
Thank you.
Now, honorable members, I would like to get your input on how we proceed. Senator Charake?
Maybe a question to the OAG. Apart from these management responses you got in the morning, have you been able to visit some of these projects so that when the county comes back, we don't need to delve further? So have you visited some of these projects that were in the report of OAG within Kiambu County? Chair, yield back.
Yes, OAG, please, you could respond.
Thank you, Chair. The projects were visited during the audit. We have not assessed them after, in respect to the response. Thank you.
So, Chair, I don't know the length of time because naturally, and Senator Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi has been a member, and we normally give 14 days. So I don't know, since you come from Nairobi, would it be convenient for the OAG to visit one or two projects so that we can harmonize and be able to write the report? Maybe the OAG can clarify. Are they able to, maybe because I know a number of projects have been completed since the last audit, so it is important when you are coming back so that we don't need to go back and forth. Maybe they can go in record, Chair, if they are able to. Thank you.
Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we are able to sample a few before the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so members, there's the, is it Pareto's principle? The 80-20 rule. There are some counties that we must do a thorough job because they say 20% sometimes contributes the bulk of the problem. Nairobi, Kiambu, Nakuru, Kisumu, Mombasa, Uasin Gishu, Kakamega. These are the big counties, the ones with big budgets, and yeah, probably the ones up north. And so if we find ourselves in a situation where the auditor is not well prepared to proceed, then we must ask ourselves whether proceeding would be doing justice to the people. So can I get your views before we give the way forward? Senator Sifuna.
Yeah, Chair, I think from the inception of this committee, we have always said that the Auditor General is our eyes. As many of you know, some of us are famously not accountants, and we rely on the expertise of the Office of the Auditor General to be able to see beyond the flashy things that we see. Those of you who have seen today's headline in the Nation, after somebody gallivanting around some fancy stadium, the Auditor General has told us there's 11 billion that has been lost in that stadium. So we need the Auditor General to guide these proceedings, so that when they tell us they're not able to proceed, Chair, we really don't have much choice. But because of what you've said in terms of the importance of doing a thorough job, and Governor, here in this committee we are very thorough, I think the best way to proceed is to give the auditor an opportunity to test the responses that have been put forward by the Governor, and then we reconvene at the earliest. But Governor, you must understand that we are operating in a very constricted time space because the House expects a report from this committee on the 31st. So my view would be, Chair, that we can reconvene and do this next week as early as possible. I think the Auditor General can indicate what is the shortest time that they can be able to go through these responses and prepare for a meeting as soon as possible. But what I want to comment is I am part of the leadership of the House, Governor, and it is something that is commendable that you are staying true to your constitutional oath to be able to account for the monies that Kiambu gets. We have had a back and forth with some of your colleagues who have taken the position that they are not going to appear before this committee. We are not unreasonable people. I don't know why people portray us as some devils or demons. Governor, we are not unreasonable people. If a reasonable explanation is provided the way that you have provided, I don't think that anyone on this committee would say, oh, no, we must continue. There's a colleague of yours who came here from Nyandarua, and he told us that there was a meeting that he wanted to go to so that the committee considers releasing him early. And we acceded to that request. So for you to show up here is to demonstrate to the people of Kiambu that you are prepared to account and not running away and hiding like some of your colleagues in the Council of Governors. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide. There's no reason for you not to appear before this committee. So for me, Chair, I want to say it is important that governors appear before this committee. I don't know which committee of the Council of Governors you sit on, Governor, because it is none of my business. I'm not a member of the Council of Governors. So when we hear some of your colleagues telling the Senate that they need to reconstitute this committee, tell them to keep off. They have no business constituting committees of the Senate. You have been in the Senate. You are now a governor. Tell the Council of Governors, if there's a governor who wants to be in the Senate and wants to be the chair of PAC in the next session, let them run for Senate. But for as long as they are not members of the Senate, they cannot tell the Senate who sits on this committee. And they must appear. And we have made a decision as the leadership of the House that if you oust your constitutional duty, if you do anything outside the Constitution, there's no business for us to engage. And I think the House resolved that governors must appear. You are an exception. All of last week, we were receiving letters, governors were not appearing before this committee. And therefore, Chair, if you remember the resolution of the House, the governors are in material breach of the preconditions for the meeting that they requested next week. I will be advising the House in my capacity as a leader of the House that we will not sit down with constitutional delinquents. For as long as you have violated the Constitution, Sifuna has no business with you. We will not sit down with constitutional delinquents. So that meeting for next week is of no use because they have refused to. This week, yes, it was supposed to be this week. They were supposed to meet certain preconditions. The entirety of last week, we did not have a single meeting. All the governors chose to stay away. And it is unacceptable because for as long as this committee exists, we must go through the reports of the Auditor General, and we will do so without any fear or favor. And by the way, we have also made it clear that all the 67 senators can do just the work that Sifuna does. If you think replacing Sifuna with anybody else, Kamau, what is his name? Karungo Atsangwa. No. If the Kiambu senator was sitting here, Thangwa, there's people who imagine he would not ask the questions that Sifuna asks. We were all elected to do the same thing, and we understand the job that needs to be done. So I think for me, Chair, it's commendable that the governor of Kiambu has chosen first to appear. He has given an explanation. In my view, it's a reasonable explanation. We can schedule another meeting in a week's time, and we will do the job that is required to be done. But this running and hiding and chest thumping that we see out there, Governor, some of us, we are made of sterner stuff. There's no one who can threaten us or scare us. Tell those colleagues of yours, the Council of Governors, you can't intimidate Sifuna or indeed any senator in this republic. They must show up here. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
We on dear Sifuna. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Chair. I thought we moved from Mimi Nisifuna to Sisi Nisifuna. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that's where we are. So thank you, Chair. First of all, to also register my appreciation to Senator Governor Wamatangi and his delegation for finding it fit to appear before the Senate, as they should, because really this is the Constitution, it's a law. I have very few things to say. One, this is a team of reasonable leaders. We are reasonable people. And when we weigh situations and realize that there is a request being made which is valid, we will grant it because we are reasonable people. So I think, Chair, it's okay. We can grant that the OAG be given time to go through the documents, and then at the earliest time possible next week, then the county government of Kiambu executive will appear before the committee and will process the business before us. Secondly, Chair, because I'm also a leader in the Senate, I think it should go out clearly that when we received a formal request by the Council of Governors, we actually agreed that we will meet them and listen to what grievances they have. If you ask me, we would have even have chosen not to accept to meet them because the Senate Public Accounts Committee does not audit the accounts of the Council of Governors. They don't appear before us as an entity. The people that appear before us are individual governors. So we would have said, no, you are strangers to us, we don't know who you are. But we said, it's fine, we will meet, we'll have a conversation. But we set a condition. One of the conditions was then the governors must continue to discharge their constitutional responsibility to appear and account to their people, not to us, account to their people on the monies that we send to them. As you heard from Senator Sifuna, and that's a position, the whole of last week, not a single governor appeared. The Chair, it should go out clearly that on the Thursday, this coming Thursday on 26th, the leadership of the Senate is not available for a meeting with the leadership of the Council of Governors on this matter. If they want to meet, we're still open, we can meet them, but let governors continue to discharge their constitutional responsibility to account to their people. Lastly, Chair, or second last, you know, in that council, and this must also go on record, in that council we have colleagues, former senators, we have a former speaker. This fight, Chair and members, of anchoring devolution is a fight that the Senate is at the center of. The Senate fights to anchor devolution to make sure that devolution succeeds. When leaders who have never sat in the Senate treat the Senate in the manner that some governors did, my expectation would have been that those senators who sit in the Council of Governors as governors today would have spoken some sense to their colleagues and tell them that what you are doing is completely out of order. There is no way that governors can wake up and say they are not going to appear before a committee of the Senate. Just no way. Lastly, Chair, Governor, you are a former colleague, so you are one of us. When things happen to you, it affects us because you are our colleague. We also, what happened in the destruction of some property in Nairobi where you have an interest. And personally, as a former colleague of yours, I must say it's such a big shame that a government that is promising development and even dropping funny names would undertake such a thing at night. It's why would a government go to destroy private property at night? I mean, if there is a problem with whatever it is that's happening, take a court order, valid. If you have to destroy, you destroy in broad daylight. Let people see what you're doing. The Bible says the thief comes by night to kill, to destroy. And I think that's exactly what happened in the premises. The most unfortunate thing, as I conclude, the most unfortunate thing is that, Governor, you have colleagues in the executive who should have known better. Even if it was a must that they had to destroy that property, I would have expected a duty of care on the part of your brothers to even tell you, you know what, this decision has been made, it has to be done, get your property out. We are going to flatten this area. But for your colleagues who sit there, the CS Interior, Governor Nairobi, the Deputy President, knowing very well that your property is going to be destroyed, and no word to salvage at least something. Well, one day, the truth shall come out and justice shall be served. I thank you.
I allowed him to go on because you call him the bishop, and that's why he's been preaching. But otherwise, let's stick to the substantive matter before us.
Chair, let me talk before the Vice Chair.
Senator Gatai, then Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, let me start by saying that I am actually very impressed by the humility of Dr. Kimani Wamatangi. Chair, we have received this report that we are not ready to continue. Of course, you know, we have always treated this ONU as the prosecutors in the whole process. You know, they are the ones who are supposed to guide us on what we're supposed to do here and there. So we have no option. We have to abide by the observation. And Chair, I would look for a time. I'm very happy to look at this document, which is very impressive, even from the looks. It's a very nice document, well prepared. You can see some very nice victorious here of quite a number of projects. I hope that when that time comes, or maybe on Monday, when we thought maybe we could meet the governor, we shall have an opportunity to go deep into this project and see what Kiambu has been able to do for its people. But to Chair, I am happy that, you know, there is this talk that the governors are not supposed to appear before this committee. I don't know for what reasons. You know, Chair, we have a very, very fundamental responsibility. We are not the creators of the Constitution. The Constitution is owned by the people of Kenya. We are here by virtue of being here, by right, by the Constitution. I don't think whether it's anybody anyway in this country who can decide not to say that he is not supposed to appear before this committee. And by coming here, Honorable Dr. Wamatangi, is a very clear demonstration that you are ready to account for the funds that are paid to Kiambu people by this house. So we are very happy as a committee, and we promise that another time when you appear, we shall be ready to work with you to make sure that whatever money you get for Kiambu County is being accounted for. Thank you, Chair, and we are very much impressed.
Chair, can I go before the Vice Chair?
Thank you. Maybe the Chair, Education, can go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Senator Betty Montet, and I'm a friend to this committee.
Karibu, Senator.
Yeah, maybe
Senator
as a quick observation, I want to appreciate the role that OAG plays, and as we have normally put it, they are the prosecutors in this matter. And I'm happy they have said they will sample a few projects so that we close. And Governor, you are aware we don't do audit, we just consider. You are once a member of this house, you are a senior member of Public Accounts Committee, and some of us sat with you in the same committee. So I want to appreciate OAG for the good job that they are doing, and that is why they are independent. Chair, you know, Kenyans should also be careful in what they consume. I saw a sensational headline today about Alanda Stadium that is around 11 billion. I'm informed that that report has been tabled before the National Assembly Committee. I think all stakeholders will consider the way we do. And we should be careful because there could be an intention to try and disparage Talanta Stadium before being named after the leader, former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So we tell them washindwe katika jina la Yesu. Secondly, Governor, I want to appreciate and celebrate you for doing your constitutional obligation. You know, Governor, when some of us see a lot of political noise in Kiambu, led by a number of our colleagues, I had to leave Nandi yesterday very late to come and see if you will appear to account for the resources of Kiambu. Because the doomsayers of politics of Kiambu have made us believe that Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi is doing absolutely nothing on the ground, even to account. So the fact that you came with your team ready with the 3 reports to account for each and every shilling of the great people of Kiambu, Governor, you have done the great people of Kiambu proud, and they should be proud of you because you are willing to account for each and every shilling that this Senate appropriates. And Governor, we are happy also to note that, you know, I saw the Finance and Budget Committee made the governors who want 534 billion to be allocated. But the question we normally ask, why is it that governors are more willing, more excited to come and lobby us for the increment in equitable share, but they don't want, a number of you don't want to come and account for? We should be fair to Kenyans. When being appropriated, you should be ready to take it, but when it comes to account the way you have done, you have to account for each and every money that we give you. And Governor, I'm happy I can see, well done. We wanted to test the eating in the pudding, Chair. And I'm keen, I am reliably informed that a number of more than close to 1,000 ECD centers have been done and others are continuing. We would want to visit, and I'm happy the Chair of Education is here. We are told that the feeding program, I remember when you appeared, is going on very well in Kiambu. I am impressed with your passion towards the health sector, Chair. I have ever seen this Kikuyu Level 4 Sub-County Hospital. I think there is one in Kahawa Sukari when I was going somewhere. And these are reminders that Devolution is a success. Governor, ignore the noise, the political noise. Focus on serving the great people of Kiambu. Ignore the people who want to bring you down by even attacking your persona and your interest. Ignore them. Just focus on the people of Kiambu, what the people of Kiambu elected you. And we are proud, even I have seen your own source revenue. The CRE has projected, but I have seen there is a steady growth in own source revenue. So Governor, we are very proud of what you are doing. And by the way, let me say this, Chair, with a lot of respect in conclusion. It is not our business to do any political witch hunt against any governor. It's not our business to embarrass any governor. Because what we share with Kenyans is what in their reports. So when a governor from Bungoma comes and brings a story of buying a Christmas tree of 3.6 million, it is not us. It's not the Public Accounts Committee, it's their own making. When a governor from Mandera buys 55.6 seedlings, yet it is a dry area, and he cannot account for it, it is not us. We are not sanctimonious to come and sanctify any governor. Our business is to consider the responses that come with the with the responses from the. Finally, Chair, I'm happy the leadership have decided that we shall not do any kangaroo meeting with Council of Governors. First, Council of Governors is not a legal entity. It is not anchored in any law. It is a boys' club of professional gossip that we should not even be discussing in this committee, because the issue of accountability, Governor, and I'm happy you have noted that response, is individual. The COG does not exist anywhere in the law. It is just a team of, we normally see merry-go-round, chama ya wamama, ile chama ya kupeana pesa over the weekend. That is the role of Council of, and I'm happy, Chair, that the leadership, the Bishop is here, and a number of us have confirmed, because we will be subverting the Constitution. The moment we come and say, instead of accounting, let us do a kangaroo meeting before going for accounting and accountability, we would have failed a Chair. Governor, we wish you well as you travel. I hope by Monday we'll be ready. And on a lighter note, you know, when I hear Wambua trying to, of course, to empathize with what happened, I remember the person he's talking about him. They are go to the same church. So I pray as they go to pray in AIC Milimani, he can pray over him and also console him and also encourage him to stop doing such, Governor. And I'm happy the President yesterday said we should end wrangles in Kiambu. At least the President has spoken. I hope the leadership of Kiambu led by you will come together. Let the people of Kiambu, Chair, and let me not forget this. You remember from 2013, Kiambu as a county government until the era of Kimani Wamatangi. The first governor, it was a disaster. The second governor was impeached, another gave him. I remember the last time he was in a church saying, pray for me, napitia mengi. So now this is the only time that Kiambu County government, to be fair to Kiambu, under the leadership of Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Senator and Governor of Kiambu, has been stable. And we are very proud of that. We want our county governments to be stable. We want devolution to work and be stable. Chair, with those very many remarks, I thank you and I yield back and wish you well, Governor, as you serve the great people of Kiambu, the bedroom of Nairobi.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, because Senator Cherargei has been extremely, has said a lot. I'll just say very few things. That Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi has been in this committee in the last parliament. We were with him in this committee, and most of the things that I do today, I learned from him. I would have been very, very surprised if you didn't turn up for this meeting, because you used to say and tell governors that you come here to account for the resources that are allocated to you, and that devolution is the best thing that we gave to ourselves as Kenyans. And there is nothing that would serve as a clawback that would be allowed, including attending to these accountability meetings. Now, if you didn't come, I would have been disappointed, but also surprised. So I think I would like to thank you for having come, and that here we don't find faults. We rely on the auditors to do their job. If there's any fault, they indicate it in these audit reports, and then you come, we give you a second bite at the cherry to tell us if there was no explanation that was done during the time of audit, are you able to explain it now? So for us, if the auditor is not ready, then we might not be able to proceed. We'll give them opportunity to go and confirm and test the evidence that you've given. Then they would come another time to come and engage. I have flipped through the report. When we come here, we're not coming to find fault only, but we also want to engage to see if there are any gaps that need to be filled in terms of legislation, and also to give feedback to our community, to our people at home and in the country, because these proceedings are live. Are there any benefits that are due to the people of Kiambu? And I would like to agree with the Senator Cherargei. I've looked at the report, and I'm seeing that in this year under consideration, that 211 ECD classrooms were procured for construction. I don't know how many were procured in the previous years. I don't have that record, but it could be in the upward of 500. So it means you are able to partake the role, the function that was devolved, that is ECD, and given its importance, the importance that it requires. Because most counties have relegated ECDs because it has to do with small children, they have relegated it to the periphery. But for me, as a person with a background of education, I know it's extremely important to take care of our children, because their minds expand, their brains expand from between 2 and 7 years. So when I see this progress, now the other questions, if you're engaging, I would ask, so are they feeding? Okay. So are they getting enough materials for teaching and learning? And all the other things like health and so on. So apart from just engaging with the audit queries, we also need to learn what is happening in our counties, so that if there's any policy hitch, if there's any legislative gap, we can be able to fill it. So when you go back to your colleagues, encourage them, talk to them, especially those who have not come through the Senate, because they might not be knowing the work that we do and the importance of the Senate in strengthening and protecting devolution. What surprises me is that there are some who have been senators, they have even been in this committee, and they are not able to come to these very important sessions. So I would like to congratulate you. I know you have opportunity to have an in-depth interrogation of this report for the sake of the people of Kiambu. Thank you so much, Chair. That would be it for me.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Governor, you have listened to the members of the committee. Before I give directions, maybe we could hear from you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I've heard from all members, Chair. I want to be on record because of the comments that have been made by senators that as the governor of Kiambu, it is my individual interpretation of the law, of the Constitution, that the responsibility to account for the resources allocated to the people of Kiambu is distinct and lies squarely on the county government itself and the governor. Chair, the Constitution recognizes the governor as the CEO of the county, and so we do not have, in my interpretation of the law, any other recourse but to appear here as a county government. And that's why I've asked my people to come so that we can come and deal with the issues that have been raised by the Auditor General. Secondly, Chair, I pray and hope that this issue will be resolved between the two institutions so that we can find good progress. Moving forward, Chair, I would put it on record also that the two strongest pillars of devolution is the Senate and the COG, Chair. We have made tremendous progress in devolution out of the commitment and efforts from the Senate. In most of the cases, Chair, when issues have arisen, and especially on allocation of resources, when we are fighting for more resources, we have come to this house and we have found a hand to hold on to and to walk this journey together in the Senate. As a former colleague, I also know the kind of battles we have fought here to ensure that funds go to counties. And so for that reason, it is my wish and my hope and my prayer that we do find a solution very quickly and urgently so that these matters can be resolved and we move. Lastly, let me say that we in the Council of Governors, I want to assure you as a House and as the committee that we have tremendous respect for senators and for the House of Senate. And that will continue, Chair. That will continue. We shall treat this House and we shall treat you with the respect that's due. And so our appearance here is not by mistake, it is by intention. It is by decision, and we shall appear again when you say that we do appear to come and account for the resources allocated to the people of Kiambu. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Chair, Education, I hope that when you call them before your committee, they usually appear.
Yes, Chair, I can firmly confirm that they do, and I can confirm that being a resident of Kiambu, by the fact that our bedrooms are in Kiambu, we are very interested in what is happening in Kiambu, and I can say that I'm impressed, and especially from the Kiambu on-source revenue growth. Chair, looking at it that this governor, Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, has been able to almost double the collection of on-source revenue, and this has also been transferred to services rendered to residents of Kiambu, because from what we see from the hospitals he has been able to build, from the ECD classes, and Chair, I can confirm from the reports I have on my desk that he has been able to do over 512 ECD centers. In fact, we were waiting for him to confirm when me and my committee will join him for the opening ceremony of the last batch of ECD centers he has been able to do. So I want to congratulate him for that, and also thank him for coming before this committee. The trend which we are seeing is worrying, but we believe most governors will reconsider their attitude towards this house and know that we are here not as competitors, but as a house to defend and support devolution. Thank you very much once again for appearing before this committee, and we look forward to engaging you in other committees also. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and Senator. Let me then just give directions on how we are going to proceed. I think, first of all, it must be put on record that the appearance of Governor Wamatangi is not a favor. It is a constitutional duty. And let there not be an impression that we are pleading with other governors to appear. The moment one decided to run for the position of governor, you signed up to be the CEO of that county. And responsibility and accountability is individual. You cannot hide behind a group called the Council of Governors to run away from accountability. Let it also be clear that we do not have a constitutional problem. These are just people who are full of impunity, who do not want to account for the resources that have been allocated to them. I don't think we have a problem. I don't think we have a crisis. And I believe that this constitution has given us adequate power and instruments to ensure that we compel the governors to appear before this committee. But on the other hand, we also hold the knife. The Finance Committee of the Council of Governors was meeting the Finance Committee of the Senate, arguing that we should allocate more than 500 billion to county governments. Yes, we have no problem doing that because this money does not go to governors. As Dwale said, siyo pesa ya mama ya mtu. This is money for the people of Kiambu. So we would be happy to allocate even 600 billion or 700 billion, but you must account for it. You can't have a financial management system where you keep allocating without accountability. That is chaos. There has to be some transparency, there has to be accountability, and that is why we as politicians every 5 years we go back to the ballot, so that we go back to account to the people. So governors must have this habit of annual accounting before we release additional funds. So members, there is no crisis. The meeting of 26th is just a tea drinking session. It is not mandatory. It does not determine how this committee is going to progress with its work. And the governors who understand the constitution will do what Governor Kimani Wamatangi has done. Kiambu has not known peace for a long time. And Governor, you are with us in the Senate. I think the last time Governor Waititu appeared before us, there were very interesting entries relating to expenditure in South Sudan and State House. And then when Governor Nyoro took over, he was defending the actions of the former governors. And I think we are in a very good space where we can now interrogate the work you have done. We are not interrogating the work of Nyoro, of Waititu, or of Kavogo. We are interrogating your work. And I wish we were ready to proceed because we would have been very happy to find out if on-source revenue has grown by 2 billion over a period of 3 years, who used to pocket that money? You know, we need to find out because I don't think that you have levied additional taxes. I don't think that you are taxing Kiambu people more. Maybe it's just discipline in collection. We would have been very happy to find out who was pocketing the 2 billion that was not going to the people of Kiambu. And so, if the auditor is not ready to prosecute, then we cannot do fair justice to the people of Kiambu. We'll have to schedule another date. But the global, I think globally, governor devolution is under threat. And governors are slipping through a revolution that will re-centralize what counties are supposed to be doing. We have seen in housing, and we have asked this question to your colleagues. If you give out land and the government builds a house on it, whose asset is it? Which balance sheet is it going to appear on? Will it be the county balance sheet or the national government balance sheet? If the national government comes and builds a stadium, you have provided the land, whose asset is it? And there's nothing wrong with the national government doing these things, but there has to be some order. There has to be some formality. I think someone introduced themselves as a county attorney. We have been having these conversations with county attorneys that it's not enough for the national government to say that we are going to build here, we are going to do this there. You are two distinct but interdependent governments. At the end of the day, with this accrual reporting, you are supposed to maintain a balance sheet. So if the land belongs to the county, but the house was built by the national government, whose balance sheet is it going to appear on? We had this conversation with Nyandarua. I think the government is building for them a level 5 hospital. Is it a level 6? Level 6. All the procurement is being done by the national government, but the asset eventually belongs to the county. These are the conversations that we want to have with county governors. I do not want to have a conversation with governors around harassment, extortion, or blackmail, things where evidence cannot be produced. If there is evidence to that, I would expect that EACC by now, or DCI, would be processing the evidence. So, and that's why I'm saying there's no problem. There's no constitutional or statutory problem. We just have, as Sifuna called them, delinquents. People who are full of impunity and want to break the law and want to avoid accountability. Devolution is under threat. When you were in the Senate, Governor, I recall the long debate we had on revenue sharing. Was it revenue sharing? The formula. The formula. You look at Kiambu. Kiambu is such a big county now, in as much as you're collecting 5 billion, but the 5 billion is not adequate to kind of provide the services that you require in Kiambu. You now want a city to be declared. I think it's in Ruiru? In Thika. Do we have a formula that is fair and just to counties like Kiambu that have got serious service pressure? Can we have some special financing arrangement for certain counties or counties that host cities? Those are the conversations we want to have with the Council of Governors. We don't want to have a conversation on issues of gossip. The disappointing thing is that the Council of Governors, at least 20 of the members are former legislators. 8 of them are former senators. And of the former senators, 2 of them were even chairs of this committee. Professor Nyongo, Senator Ochilo Ayako, you're a former member of this committee, and several others. So I hope that Senator Wambua, when you become a governor, you will not be like them. Because it looks like something happens when people become governors.
God forbid that, Chair.
God forbid that you become a governor?
God forbid that I may turn my ways and start behaving funny.
Yeah, we pray that you'll be the next governor of Kitui, but we don't expect you to favor us. We just expect you to follow what the Constitution requires you to do. I want to request the County Assembly, the Chair. In this report, I've seen issues of cabros, markets, boreholes, seedlings, piglets, fertilizer, things that we really, sitting in Nairobi, we might not be able to do much unless we go to Kiambu to do a site visit. Since all these projects are happening in your wards, I want you to have the courage to do the right thing as required by the Constitution, so that hopefully by the time we are getting the governor again, you'll have already done your preliminary findings, you'll have already done your preliminary report, so that we can tie the two together. Please do not, the Senate is not taking away the powers of the county assemblies. We want the county assemblies to step up. And I hope those were the conversations you're having with the president last week, not just on mortgages and pensions. I think that we must also have a conversation with the county assemblies. That it's not the Senate that is supposed to do this. We must work together. And when the governors say they cannot appear before the Senate, it means that the county assembly, they will not even cooperate. They will not even think about it. So we want to encourage you to do your bit so that the next meeting we can deal with the bigger policy issues. I think we then reach the conclusion that we cannot proceed. We will set a new date. We thought we could meet next week on Monday, but I've seen in our schedule there are some counties that are expected to appear next week on Monday. But we'll liaise with the Office of the Auditor General for us to agree on a date, so that these beautiful reports, we can break them down and confirm that the content is as good as the cover is. So with that, honorable members, unless there is any other business, we will adjourn. There being no other business, we adjourn, and we meet tomorrow at 9:30. Governor, we wish you safe travels back home, and please continue reading the Constitution. And if there's a problem, we shall distribute 47 copies of the Constitution to the 47 governors,
And
so
also-
that they understand the
Chair, and also the Bible, not only the Constitution.
Yes,
and
the
also
Bible and the Quran.
And the Quran.